The game changer. This is a fly I came up with a couple of years ago when I started to fish in competitions. The maximum bead you can use in competitions is a 4mm, which then creates a problem if you get really high or deep water and you're trying to get your nymphs down. I was actually fishing Lake of Menteith one day and I was watching how quickly buzzers sank, and I knew you could get the Spanish style nymphs, but for some reason they build them right up to the same width as the bead. So I started tying this, and it's just got slimmer and slimmer. Sinks very quickly, hardly any resistance, and it's on the bottom almost as soon as it hits the water. So here we go. This is a Hanak 450 BL. It's a very nice wide gate hook. This is the biggest hook that I use for nymphing. It's a size 12, and it's a 4mm gold bead. Thread I use is brown ultra thread in UTC. I use this because it lays flat, which allows you to make it even thinner. So start the tying. Just try and lock in the bead with the minimal amount of wraps. This is a wee bit thicker than my normal Semperfly nano silk. So that's pretty well. It's not vital. I mean, I can get away with it because I'm quite used to tying them, but it's better to have the bead as steady as possible. Very thin layer of thread down. Again, trying to keep everything very minimal. The change I've made over the years is I've added this rubber tail. These are Microtails. This one's in it's a kind of blacky brown colour. And I found a great technique to tie the tail in, and it just goes, for some reason it just goes perfect every time. You can also do it with the Coq de Leon tail. I do Coq de Leon in the smaller sizes for like the summer because there's not as much resistance, but I like the rubber tail just to get a wee bit more movement. So this is the rubber tail that I use. Looks quite thick in the picture, but it's just a nice size and it gets a lot of movement. Now the trick I found to tying the tail in is you just form a loop. Keep your tags quite long, tie it in tight at the head, trap it in a couple of turns, and then put your finger through the loop, hold it on top of the hook shank and turn it in very tightly, pulling back as hard as you can. Sorry, it's very hard going around this camera, but you can see there the thread's lying flat, so just before the bend starts, and that's the tail tied in. Again, it looks an absolute mess, but I'll show you what happens now. Because I've left these tags long, pull them up really tight, stretch them right out, snip, and it gives you a really neat finish in at the head. When I do add wire, and I don't add wire a lot, I basically, if I'm tying a gold bead, I always put gold wire on, and copper, silver, etc. That's the normal. So this is hens. This is the best wire I've found. It's 0.14 and it comes in very nice colours, very shiny. So again, keeping everything as slim as possible. Now, I don't take the wire on this one right up to the head because I'm going to put an orange collar on it, so I want to keep as much room for that as possible. So I actually leave the wire about a mil shy of the actual bead, and again trying to tie it in with minimal, keep the thread quite flat. You really just want to go down once and back up That's the only build up you want. And that's it, covered in. You've got to remember that we're going to put UV varnish on this as well, which will build it up. Just a couple of wee bits there, just make a wee bit better taper, and that's us. But again, just keep everything, that will get all smoothed out with the UV, and then just turn your wire up, nice even turns, 3 or 4 turns. The other thing about using the thin wire, it's not as hard to cover with the UV. And then tie that off. Again, you're covering it with UV, so don't, a couple of turns will hold that in. I'll just snip that off. And that's you. Hit finish. Again, you can do this pattern with a huge amount of different colours. But as you can see, I keep it very, very slim. Now the orange thread I've found, I'm still looking for 1 or 2 other threads. This is UTC and this is Fluo orange. Makes a lovely collar. You can also do it with a orange bead behind it, which makes it even heavier, but you're not allowed to use that in competition, so this is the competition version. Now the secret to putting the thread on is to give it a couple of wraps, and then bring your thread over the top, lock that in. I try and keep the collar as thin as possible. It's just personal preference, but and then if you bring the thread back, yeah, you'll get a nice collar. Just a bit of wire showing there. That'll get covered up. And you can see it gives you a nice thin collar, nice and bright. And because the thread lies flat, you don't get a lot of build up. And then what I do is incorporate the whip finish on the last 3 turns. 1, 2, 3. Again, you're going to cover it with UV, so it's not as essential to have it really, really secure. Cut that off. That's basically the fly done. Now, I was telling you about the tail. Tail looks just looks a mess. Just uncurl it. Now you're better to cut the tail longer rather than shorter. Obviously you can't lengthen it once you've cut it, so just bring it out. Cut that. Perfect V every time. You could use it on any fly, but as I say, just for whatever reason, I don't know, it just works every time. Gives you a perfect tail. Now all we need to do now is drop a UV resin. Again, keep everything thin as possible, so I use the solarez thin on this. Tiny touch onto the fly, and then I get my art brush. Nice coat all the way around. Another wee tip, make your beads last longer. If you just give you don't need to cover the whole bead, but if you just cover the top of the bead with some UV varnish, you'll get a good, probably another half hour of the bead before it starts to wear. When you're fishing rivers like the Nymph that's all gravel, it absolutely hammers the beads. You've got to remember that the fly sits, because it's in a jig hook, sits upside down. I'll just need to move the camera. I'll just hit this with the torch. Lovely finish with the solarez. It's very shiny, dries really hard, and it's also giving you a wee bit more protection on the bead. I'll just move the camera slightly just so you can see it. And it'll fish that way up. Lovely profile, nice and slim. Not only is a weight on the point, but my God, does it catch fish. The game changer.